had the opportunity to go fly aircraft in the Marine Corps, so I went back in and flew CH-53 helicopters for 4.5 years before I injured my ankle. And then I transitioned into logistics and procurement, and currently, after I retired, I'm the Senior Director of Procurement for the North Texas Tollway Authority. Yeah, so veterans, they have a wealth of information, and my team always tells me, you're so military, because I use terms like, hey buddy, and they're like, who's this buddy guy? And it's like, well, you know, or trash, you know, just get that trash taken care of. And it's like, what trash? It's like, sorry, just endure me for a while. But, so one of the things I find out about veterans, or that we joke around about veterans, is when, you know, you give them a challenge or a task or a mission or a project to work on, a lot of times I've heard, well, I've done a lot more for a lot less, so that should be very easy for me. They just have that attitude. It's been covered in the presentation, so I'm not going to go through it again. But one thing I did notice about dealing with veterans, and it kind of, if anybody's ever seen the television show Man vs. Wild, where the guy goes out and like runs through the woods and survives. So he did a series where he had a bunch of celebrities. And one of the ones that kind of stuck out in my mind was he had President Obama on it. And they talked about, you know, overcoming and enduring and going through challenges. And one of the things that the president said was, it's not always the smartest or the strongest person that endures or that succeeds. It's the one who perseveres and keeps going. I think you get a lot of that from veterans because they've been through a lot. They may joke about it, but there's definitely, in the Marine Corps we have a phrase, embrace the suck, which basically means you may be sitting in a ditch somewhere getting rained on and everything you have is wet, but at some point you look to your left and you look to your right and you smile and you laugh about it, and then you'll say this sucks. And then a month later you'll say, remember when we were in the ditch? Yeah, don't bring that up again. I'm still, you know, drying off from that. But it's definitely a benefit, and it's definitely, you get a lot of diversity with veterans. In my experience, I had a gentleman that I went through boot camp with, and I went to my first duty station with, and he was from western Nebraska, and he was not very diverse. And we were stationed in California together. And this was probably in the early 90s. And we did everything. We had a very diverse platoon. We went out, we went snowboarding, we went to San Diego, we went to Tijuana, we went to Japan. We came back, and he got out and went back to Nebraska and went to school. And I called him and asked him how things were going. And he goes, you know, you never really realize it until you leave and come back. But I just miss the diversity and the things that we did when I was in California. So with that, you know, I'll leave this, and you know, thank you all for participating in this wonderful event, and you know, wealth of information, and I wish you nothing but success. Thank you.